What's up, everyone? Today's guest is Ava Ignatowich. She is a pro pickleball player, signed with the PPA last year, and also a college pickleball player. Curious to see how she balances out the two. But anyway, Ava, it's great to have you on the episode.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So 10 questions, 10 minutes. Let's just get into it. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right. First question. Overall thoughts on the Masters a couple weekends ago. How did you feel like it went?
I felt like it went really well for me. I had two amazing partners. I played with Rafa Hewitt, which was really, really exciting. I look up to him and I think he's a really great player. And it was really awesome to be able to play with him. And then for women's, I played with Kat Stewart, who's my friend from my area. Oh, cool. And she's really good. She's just starting out. And she was I think 150 WTA tennis player. So she's used to pro sports. She's used to competitive sports. And we competed our hardest. And I think it went really well for our first pro tournament together. We got our first pro main draw win in women's, which was awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, that's cool. That's a great start. And what did you think about like the service rule or the new trial implementation, and then overall the ball? Thoughts on the ball?
So I'm not going to lie, the serve rule got me on a couple faults. It was tough to get used to. It was tougher. I noticed more of a difference in the play of singles than in doubles, because in singles, typically I'll try and go for my serve and hit a big serve, but I really couldn't focus on that because I had to focus on serving correctly, which was pretty tough at first. But I think that if they choose to implement it into every tournament, I think it will be really interesting to see how the game evolves when you take away the serve as a weapon. And the ball, I liked it. I thought it was heavier than a Dura, which was good. It felt a little closer to a Franklin to me.
Sure.
I didn't dislike the ball. I thought...
Yeah, fair enough. And what about like on the pro scene, like us rec players, we use one ball and we try to use it for as long as possible. Like I'm guessing you guys are constantly changing the ball. So does it have time to kind of like wear down and get softer?
The Vulcan?
Yeah.
So they sent us a few to practice with, and so far they've done a pretty good job lasting for me. Cool. I haven't noticed that it's worn down a lot. Duras typically will break after a couple days of play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Depending on who you're playing with.
Right. Cool, right on. Good thoughts. Question 3, you're a pro player, you're a college player, you go to college. How do you navigate like those 3 different things?
So at this point, I'm pretty used to it. For anyone who's ever played a Division I sport in college, you know that you have to be insanely disciplined. And I translated that mentality over to pickleball when I switched sports. So in the morning, I'll drill. In the afternoons, I'll go to class. And then in the evenings, I'll study and I'll go to the gym. Time management is really big. And so is just kind of having the desire to get everything done at the end of the day.
Right. Okay, not bad. What's the biggest difference between the college game and the pro game?
Well, there are a lot of differences. Level, of course.
Sure.
The college games are done quite similarly to MLP. It's team versus team, and the energy and cheering gets super intense. They get really loud, and there's a lot of trash talk between schools, which is awesome. I'd say the biggest difference between college and pro is probably the energy of the environment. No one is going to bring more energy than a bunch of college kids representing their school.
Sure.
That's pretty wild.
And how does that like fare with you? Do you like that energy from the crowd, or do you like it more like the pro scene where it's quiet between points and then maybe like an eruption at times?
I love the college energy. I love cool. The constant trash talk and the yelling.
Do you have a go-to trash talking line?
Do I have a go-to trash talking line?
Yeah.
If I win a hands battle in mixed against a man, I like to say he doesn't want it.
Okay, solid. Right
that
on.
One's always fun. It's a classic.
Yeah, that's a classic. Can't go wrong there. I used to like when there's a comeback going on, I'm down like 10-6 or something, then it's 10-8, 10-9. I like to just go, uh-oh, really loud though. So if you're ever, coming back, throw that out there. Maybe it'll get under their skin.
I'm going to use that one against
Yeah, try it out.
for sure.
So question 5, how do you decide your tournament schedule? Like when to play college, when to play pro? How do you decide that schedule?
So I do my best to create a schedule that isn't overwhelming, one that works around my school schedule. School is probably my top priority at the moment, and it's important for me to make sure that I have the space in my life to get the most out of my education while also working hard at my other dreams like pickleball. And college pickleball is probably taking like a second place to the PPA tournaments that I'm playing right now.
Sure.
So I'm trying to play more PPAs rather than college events, which is tough because I love college events so much.
Right.
But I think I'm doing a good job creating some balance in my schedule at the moment.
Yeah, that's good. Good to hear.
This semester will be fun.
Question 6. This is a community question. What does it take to get to the pro level?
I'd say a lot of hard work and discipline. A big thing about like jumping level in pickleball for me, going from a recreational player to a pro player, has been patience and kind of learning the rhythm. I feel like the pro game is a lot slower.
Sure.
In a way. Like the points are a lot slower, and it takes a lot of like patience and understanding of when to speed up, when to attack, and when to play defensive.
Sure, that makes sense. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same thing that even us rec players experience when we go from like 4-0 to 4-5 to 5-0. It's just harder to win points. So as a result, the points are kind of longer. You think you have a put away, you don't, ball comes back. And I'm sure that's just amplified times 20 at the pro level.
At the pro level, it takes a lot more focus. You need to be extremely focused at all times throughout a point.
Interesting. And like, could you elaborate on that? Like, I mean, I get what focus is, but could you specifically go into like what you're focusing on, or is it just mental staying in tune with what's happening?
Yeah, of course. So I'd say the big thing you need to focus on is shot selection. Like
Sure.
You can't really just zone out and play. You need to make sure at all times that you're picking the right shots and that you're focusing and getting them to the right places and having accuracy with your shots. A big thing is also getting to the kitchen line is a lot tougher in the pro level because people are a lot better at keeping you back.
Right.
It's not just 1-2 drops and you're there. Like you have to really focus on where to place your drops, when to hit drives, what to do, who to target, things like that.
I really like the 1 to 2 drops and then I'm at the kitchen line. That kind of works for me, but couldn't do that in pro. Question 7, who do you train with? Who's a part of your training regimen?
I've been training a lot with my friend Nico Acevedo. He's an excellent player. He coaches me and helps me a bit. He lives in my area. And then I also like to play with my friend Krista Getcheva when she's in town.
Oh, cool. Yeah, right on.
She's really solid. I think she's an underrated player. Like, I don't think she gets enough attention for how good she is. And then in Miami, I've been playing a lot with my teammates, which is really fun. And I've been also training with my new women's partner, Kat Stewart. That's pretty much it these days.
Cool. Question 8, what do you do outside of pickleball?
Outside of pickleball, I study a lot, more than I would like to.
What's your major?
My major is economics.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not much of a numbers person, so we'll leave that to you guys.
Yeah, it's a major that requires a lot of hard work and memorizing formulas, math. There's a lot of math, so.
Sure, I can see that. So when do you graduate?
I graduate next year in the spring. I'm a junior right now.
Nice. And then what's kind of the plan as far as pickleball goes once you do graduate?
I hope to keep pursuing it, and I hope to keep playing. My goal right now is to be a professional pickleball player for as long as I can when I'm done with school, and then eventually go into my other interests like economics.
Cool, right on. The last question before I get you out of here. Let's just say there's a great pickleball player and they're kind of deciding between University of Miami or countless other schools with pickleball clubs. What's your pitch to get that person to go to the U?
I would say that the U would be the best place in the United States to train and play pickleball. The weather is fantastic all year round. And we have in South Florida a collection of the best top players in the world.
Yeah, true.
And including, I think, JW and Georgia Johnson, we have Annalie Waters, Lee Waters, Christian Alshon, James Ignatowich, Anna Bray.
A lot of ballers down there.
And it's great because as a rec player here, you run into them a lot. You run into the top pro players all the time because there's only so many places to play and train. And here, you'll get to see them, you'll get to meet them, which is really inspiring if you're a high school player who loves pickleball and wants to go pro one day. If you come to the U, you'll be really close to probably some of your role models, which is awesome. And
that's pretty cool.
The facilities here are continuing to develop. There's more courts. Everywhere I look, there's new courts opening up. And the University of Miami is really behind pickleball. A lot of our alumni play, a lot of just residents in the area play.
Fantastic. All right, there you go, everyone. Go to the U if you want to get serious about college pickleball, maybe meet one of your role models. That's 10 questions, 10 minutes. Ava Ignatowich, we're out.
Thank you.